Hey, this is Mike from Feedline Labs. I'm going to show you the AirPulse desktop for Windows. We're making it available free for the beta, and just bring your own SDR. So when it first opens up, it kind of looks like this. I've already provisioned it with this button over here, and I've already entered my settings, and we're going to show you that in a minute too. Let's just go ahead and hit start, and then I'm going to pause it for a second. Let's hit start. It's going to go through some gyrations here. And what did it just do? You can see I paused the log there by clicking that pause button on the log. It's still scanning. It's just not writing to the log right now. It's buffering that. So it pulled down 60 repeaters because that's what I set in my settings. I gave it my lat long so it knew, how to get those repeaters. And it found my 60 repeaters because there were that many in my radius. Notice it says it's going to scan with 61 repeaters. And so on. It pulled those repeaters down from the Grayline fabric. It also posts repeater activity back up to the fabric. So what it's going to do is it's going to scan these frequencies here in the output. And if it detects transmissions on there, it's going to send a packet up to the Grayline fabric, and that repeater is instantly going to light up. And you'll see that in purple. And everybody looking at the map, instantly it changes. If you're staring at the map, you don't have to refresh the screen. It instantly just pops. And after 5 minutes of no activity, it goes back to green or orange for GMRS or whatever. Notice that it also reached out to my USB ports and said, hey, guess what? I found the Nolec Smart V5 out there. And it opened it, and it's going to start scanning. And I'll show you something that's interesting. That very first frequency it scanned, notice it got a major hit on the signal to noise ratio here, right here at, let's see, 37.75. That's the benchmark. And what we do is we inject the NOAA weather frequency that's always transmitting so we can get a good baseline, and also so you know it's working. So now let me hit the log to start it, and that was all buffered while I was talking to you. And since then, you notice, let's go ahead and pause it again. It did 3 calibration loops, and it starts scanning from that point forward. Let's go ahead and hit log, start, and so it's scanning. And when you get a hit, you'll see a green message out to the console, and it'll post that packet. Now, if I disconnect the dongle, you'll see what happens. Let me pull it off. You can see it faulted immediately. I'm pulling that from my USB port. I'm plugging it back in. Now it's going to wait 30 seconds, and it's going to start right back up. It's very resilient. If it's Wi-Fi, if it's any issue that gets in its way, it just keeps trying and trying and trying until it can get everything put together, and then it starts up. So one other thing I want to say is SDRs do get warm. Most of you guys probably already know this, but I wouldn't plug your SDR directly into your laptop or any device. I would plug in a short 6 to 12 inch USB to USB extension and then plug your SDR into that. I even, I have my, so my SDR is like a foot away from my laptop right now, and I have a little fan that's running on it. That keeps it cool. That's just me being paranoid, but I like it really cool. So anyway, there's scanning, and you can see it starting up again. So let's stop and go into settings and provisioning.
The goal of the beta is to have 75 real users using SDRs to provision their device and report real live activity. Users that obtained free licenses but did not make that first 75 will lose their free license. However, the cost of a license is very reasonable and is a lifetime license.
Okay, we're going to grab a license for AirPulse, and it's free right now. And it's also a lifetime. So I'm on the Feedline Labs main site. There's a lot of information up here that's pretty cool you can read about. The Grayline fabric, it talks about that, but also the AirPulse has a lot of cool information about how this works. These are some of the kits that'll be available for purchase here in a little while based on Raspberry Pi if you don't want to run your desktop version. Has a modular architecture, so it's going to support AirSpy. That should be ready in a week or so. It already supports all the, should anyway, all the RTL SDRs because it uses a common open source API. There's some stuff about the ecosystem. There's some more stuff about the architecture and how even custom providers can be written by you. So let's click the Get Started button. That takes us to the actual application. I'm already logged in, but if you weren't logged in, you would come up here, log in, and it's going to want your email ID and your username. Most people use their call sign. But enter that, it'll send you an email, confirm it, and then you'll see what I see, which is my profile. Let's go to my profile. You have your username, and then you have AirPulse licenses over here. Let's pay attention to the one that's active. Notice it says launch grant. That means it's a free lifetime license that was obtained during the launch of this product. It never expires. When you come to this, you won't have a license. Just request a license and it'll dump a record in like that, and we will approve it, and you'll have this row here. You won't have the pending. But there's your license. You will copy that value. Let me see if I can copy that like this. I don't know if that works. You'll copy that value. Yeah, it does work. And then you'll put it into the settings. So we're going to go do that next. But before I do, let me show you one more thing. Let's close that. You notice this is my home location, the red node. You can have many home locations up here. I can go to Houston. I play around all the time with the map, obviously, because I'm developing. Let's zoom in, and let's just say my home is right here on the coast. I'm going to right mouse and say copy lat long. That's what I would do when you go into your settings. Remember that. You can just copy your lat long, go over and paste that right into the settings. So let's see how that works. Okay, so now we're going to set up our settings. This is really easy. You only have two things to do. If you recall, I copied the lat long off of the map on Feedline Labs. All I have to do is, once I've copied that, come over here into either the lat or the longitude, it doesn't matter which field, and hit Control V. There's my lat long right there. It's that easy. So now let's go get our public device ID, and you remember that was in our user profile, and there's a spot to copy that out. Okay, now let's copy in our device ID. I'm going to hit Control V. Now if I push the eyeglass there, it will actually show me the raw value. You want to keep that hidden, but if it was to get away from you, there is a way to reclaim it, but don't share it, because if someone uses it, it cuts you off. So anyway, you don't have to change anything else. I would go with this stock and see how it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the Save button down here. Now that we filled in our settings, let's go ahead and provision the device and kick it off. So first thing you do is you hit Start. You'll notice it says provisioning is required. So let's hit the provision button over here. Okay, it said credentials saved. That's good news. Let's stop it. I'll go ahead and clear the log now. Now let's start. Check it out. Pull down the repeaters. It's off and running. It's really that easy, folks. Now we've only tested it with the NULEC, but it should support any of the SDRs.
And finally, let's wrap it up with the AirPulse dashboard. All users who have licenses can access their AirPulse dashboard, and it shows activity by day. It shows how many unique repeaters they got, how many reports. This was today. I was just goofing around making this video. From this point forward, I probably should have mine running pretty much nonstop. But anyway, I only had 14 today because I only kicked it on for about a half an hour. But I just traveled to Indianapolis. Let's go to May 31st. Check this out. Now you can see I have 182 reports, 17 different unique repeaters, and it was really fun to watch it actually take place. You'll see long-running conversations like these, where you'll see a whole bunch in a row. Look at this one. This is all in a row. Very long conversations, some of them solid half hour of traffic. You can just hop on there and listen and whatever. It's super cool. There's also dark mode. So let's go to the day before this. This is also in Indianapolis. Notice there I have 321 reports. So I lit up repeaters all day long in the Indianapolis area. Martinsville, Montclair, Bellevue, Plainfield, just all over the place. Some of them were really long way away. Now the nice thing was, some of these are 700 or 800 feet on top of high rises in downtown Indianapolis, and I was in a little town southwest of there, quite a ways away, and picking up fantastic traffic from there. It was super fun. Anyway, we'll put all the links and stuff in the video for you, including where to download the beta.